Today's face-off on Fox Soul. Challengers Quan LX and Big Angry Adams. Ready to go blow by blow on those hot topics. Face-off on Fox Soul starts right now.
This evening, standing by a widely seen arrest of a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, they say he was recklessly riding a bicycle. Well, now tens of thousands of people have watched video of his arrest, and it's raising a lot of questions.
Michael Warwick is getting answers in this case. He joins us now live in West Charlotte. So, Michael, we have a new response from Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police. What are they telling you?
That's right. Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police tell us its officers acted to ensure the safety of the boy and the others on the road. In that video obtained by WBTV, officers described their reasoning for the arrest as recklessly riding on a bicycle. A bystander captured the moment, even having a brief conversation with one of the officers. And you can see the child with his hands behind his back inside the cruiser. It has gained thousands of views on TikTok. Privacy laws restrict what CMPD can say because the case involves a juvenile, and because of that, we have blurred the child's face. But CMPD tells us the Central Division regularly responds to reckless bike riders. We've also been in touch with the boy's family. We hope to have more from them in the coming days, as this is an active investigation, one we'll stay on top of. Live in West Charlotte, Michael Warwick, WBTV, on your side.
In this round, here's Quan LX.
Angers me as a father who's raised young black men in this nation. It angers me because I cannot seem to grasp in my own thinking how two quote unquote respected law enforcement officers would take a 12-year-old boy and arrest him and handcuff him behind his back, put him in a patrol car for riding a bicycle and charge him with reckless driving. When all of us have grown up in this country riding bikes in our neighborhoods with our friends, popping wheelies. Sometimes we would make a little ramp and jump the ramp. Now, if he was vandalizing property, vandalizing cars, that's a different discussion. But to look back at the man questioning them why they're doing this, and he says he's been arrested for reckless driving. We have witnessed, brothers and sisters, black children, 9 and 10-year-olds in classrooms, on the street, handcuffed by law enforcement officers. We've witnessed black children be suspected of possibly shoplifting and handcuffed 9 and 10-year-olds. I ask our brothers and sisters to question, how long are we just going to sit by and allow our children to be the target of sudden blatant attacks? They could not take this young man home to his mother, his father, and say he's riding dangerously on the sidewalk of the street. Please get him corrected. Don't let him ride the bike anymore. Let his parents deal with it. No, you got to arrest him and give him a criminal history. Brothers and sisters, we are not Ray Charles. We can all see what's happening, that they're in a rush to criminalize young black children. This little black brother should not have been arrested. What did he do that justified putting that 12-year-old kid behind handcuffs in a car like that? But of course, watch the lies. They're going to be lies.
I mean, I wonder if you actually know what happened, because you seem very upset, Quan.
They'll get on social media and they'll create lies to try to justify what happened to this young man, the same way they created lies.
Quan, what happened? What exactly happened?
Was
what
arrested,
happened,
and they tried to make him look like the villain, the same way
what happened?
Children are arrested in the classroom as young as 10 years old and put in handcuffs, and they come up with lies. She was aggressive and threatening.
But in this instance, Quan, what happened?
Are we as black people gonna tolerate all these damn white lies
again? I mean, you know, we're coming to that.
Our children.
Okay, what happened? What in this specific incident? What exactly happened? Because they've released that.
According to the police, they're saying because he's a juvenile, they can't release explicit details because he is a juvenile. And let me say this to you, brothers and sisters. They lie all the time on black children.
That's not
that
true.
Ain't nothing new. These lying white cops, these racist white cops, lie on black children all the time.
How do you know what color the cops were?
I'm looking at the video.
Okay. How do you know they're not Latino?
And I'm watching the video. And I'm listening to one of them talk.
So here's the
They
deal.
sure hell wasn't
right?
black cops.
So you can pretend that you haven't seen all the videos of youths riding into people, popping wheelies. There's some where they've got hit by cars because they're doing it so dangerously. And these little groups of kids being super aggressive in traffic to make YouTube videos to get attention, right? You can pretend that's not all over the place, but that's you lying. And unfortunately, there does seem to be an incredible racial bias in those who are choosing to do it and get popular on YouTube to do that, or Instagram or TikTok or whatever. This was a group of kids intentionally riding into traffic, not popping wheelies like we did or jumping ramps as a kid. It is intentionally riding into traffic. Only one of them was arrested. The only one that was arrested was the one that was detained and then while talking to police took off and fled on his bike, right? That's why he was arrested. Every other kid that was stopped was not arrested. So the real question isn't racist cops. The real question is, why is the mother throwing such a tantrum when she should have been parenting her damn kid in the first place? Because everyone knows, except liars that want to incite racial violence, that this whole thing is a problem. We have it here in Houston. They do it on dirt bikes and four-wheelers here in Houston. Vehicles not licensed to be on the roadway. HPD stands down. They did nothing until they murdered some guy who got mad because they were swarming around him. So some guy pulled out a gun and shot him on Westheimer, one of our busiest roads. But still, they have a no chase policy. So you see him where I live, not out in super wealthy suburbia where you live, but where I live, you see it all the time, and it's frustrating and it's criminal, right? And it's not just here. Amsterdam. I'm walking in Amsterdam a couple of years ago, and there were a couple of migrants on bicycles, riding into people, rode into me, and I just shoved him off his bike. Right? So let's not pretend this isn't an epidemic. Let's not pretend it's not a problem. And then let's talk about
this is not an epidemic for black and
lying,
brown children.
because the government does lie. But they're very specific about it. And what they're saying is, we stopped a bunch of them and warned them and told them to stop, but one of them took off.
Independent thinking white people in this country, do you really believe that white cops are patrolling white suburban neighborhoods, arresting little white boys for reckless driving on bicycles? Hell no, they're not.
Well, if they're riding into traffic and popping wheelies and causing cars to throw on their brakes, absolutely.
As a young boy,
absolutely,
that the cops would pull us over and they would arrest some of the young brothers for not having enough rubber on their bicycle tires. I can remember.
You know what you're doing? You're lying.
They would arrest young brothers.
You don't know, Whitey. No, I know. You fabricate these stories and try to draw a false equivalence between 2025 and 1985.
And writing citations to brothers who are riding a bike not having a helmet on their head. This is the type of racial profiling that they would use against young black men in Black America all the time.
So if they were in fact riding into traffic on a busy street, popping wheelies, all for videos for social media, and almost causing accidents and doing what we've all seen on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube, if they were doing that, and then the cops stopped a few of them, and one of the few took off on them while they're talking to him.
That's the
should he be arrested?
Lie they're coming up with.
Should he be arrested?
And they always come with a lie.
Those facts are true. Was it a valid arrest, Quanell?
Something so foul and so egregious, and what they do, they concoct a lie to try to divert
those facts are true, Quanell. Hey, I can say it. If the cops are lying, it's a problem, and they should be disciplined. But if those facts are true, Quanell, is it a valid arrest? Yes or no?
Wouldn't tolerate us doing that to their children in their community. Again, they wouldn't tolerate.
If the cops are lying, they should be fired. But let's say on the flip side, if in fact he was riding into traffic recklessly, causing people to slam on the brakes, pop a wheels in front of people, disrupting traffic, and then he got stopped, and while he was stopped, he took off on the cops. If those facts are true, is it a valid arrest? Yes or no?
I don't think so.
Why not?
No. because
not?
that's something you could take that kid home and maybe write him a citation,
Well,
not put him in
obviously his
jail,
mom
and not
doesn't give a
handcuff him.
damn what he's doing
But I
because
would
he's
say
out
this
there
to you,
doing it,
brothers
if
and
those
sisters.
facts are true.
Do y'all remember the video of the little 9-year-old girl walking with her mother?
I know you want to talk about all
And the
kind of
little
other stuff.
video,
We
they
have
thought
a
maybe she
subject,
shoplifted something
right?
out of the store. The
So
police
if
stopped-
somebody
the
is
police
if
stopped
somebody's
her mother,
validly
her
stopped
little
by the
brother, and her,
police for doing
and they
something
put
dangerous,
the
and then they
9-year-old
run
girl
from the
in
police,
handcuffs.
in
They put that
Quanell world,
9-year-old black girl
no
in
arrest.
handcuffs because they thought she was shoplifting, only later to learn her mother had a receipt and had paid for it. But them same white boy cops put that little black girl, 9-year-old,
Oh, it was the same
handcuffs,
cops? It was these same cops?
in
They're the same
handcuffs.
person? Or did they just share a skin color? And this
Man,
is a
these
completely
damn
unrelated
cops
incident that you
have no
probably just
problem
made up for the TV
criminalizing
cameras.
and punishing black
What city
children
did that happen
in
in?
manners and ways
What
that they would
city did
never
that
punish
happen?
their own.
This incident you've just made up. What city did that happen
Oh,
in?
brothers and sisters, now you pretend like you don't remember.
No,
Look at
no,
it.
I'm asking you.
And we debated
What
on the
city
show.
was it in?
We talked about it on this
What-
show.
And what city
Brothers
was it
and
in?
sisters, we talked
What
about
city
it right
was it
on
in?
this show. Now he
Again,
wants to pretend
You're
like
just
he don't
playing
remember. Let me
make
give you
believe.
another case.
You just called these two
Remember
cops that you
remember the
don't know
10-year-old girl
racist
at
and all
school,
kind of horrible
and the little
things.
black girl was throwing a
You,
tantrum,
you went on for
and the
5
police
minutes.
came and put
You
her
don't
in
even know
handcuffs
what
because she
happened.
was throwing a tantrum. A 10-year-old black girl,
Again, Quadell,
and the
What
police
city?
came and put her in
you're
handcuffs
playing
and put her in a
make-believe.
squad
You
car.
want to talk about anything? Because I can say if these cops are lying, they should be in real trouble. But
This
what
ain't
you can't
nothing
say is
new.
if they're telling the truth,
This is
then
a
I've just
pattern.
sat here and lied on TV for 10 minutes, which is
a
exactly what you
pattern.
did,
This
right?
is a
It's just
pattern.
race.
Just wanted to drop these words about the so-called serial killer stalking the bayous of Houston or the community. It's what everyone is talking about.
We do not have any evidence that there is a serial killer loose in Houston, Texas. Let me say that again. There is no evidence that there is a serial killer loose on the streets of Houston.
Keep in mind, there are people on social media who just want you to click their posts and leave likes. This is all to gain traction by selling you a bunch of bull. But there is no proof out there yet that there is one single person who is killing multiple people and throwing their damn bodies into the bayous. There have been deaths, yes. Possible murders, yes. But investigators have not linked one suspect to multiple killings. What we also need to keep in mind, in a city this size, we actually have a hidden population of homeless people who also live along the banks of the bayous. Some of them fall in. Some have mental health issues. And yes, some may have committed a crime, even a murder, dumping a body in the waterway. But there is no evidence yet that there is one person doing it. Just imagine what we are doing to families who have no answers about their deceased loved ones. And when we just create a dumbass reason like a serial killer, those families are left struggling with those bull theories. So please try to be patient and let investigators do their jobs before you harm the victims' families with false information.
In this round, here's Charles Big Angry Adams.
All right, Quanell. First, I want to talk to our Fox Soul viewers who aren't from the Houston area, not familiar with the Bayou City, as we are called. These aren't Louisiana bayous filled with Cajun and Creole Americans on flat bottom fan boats out there hunting alligators and whatnot. Our bayous are really just a drainage system, a bunch of oversized drainage ditches, which me and actually the host from which we got the clip, Isaiah Carey, before the pandemic, Isaiah had rented a boat and we went out there all day on a boat. And I don't know if you ever done that, Quanell, and you see some scary, weird stuff. Like we went all through the bayou, which is, it's a lot like for our Los Angeles viewers, the LA River, not a river, big, nasty drainage ditch. That's what our bayous are.
Did you have your pistol on you?
What now?
Did you have your pistol on you?
Did I have that tool? Come on, man. Come on. It was a day trip. I was in some shorts. I was comfortable. So I only had, only had the 22 in my pocket. But let's get back. All right. So there are 10 to 20 bodies found in and around our bayou system every year, right? Most of them have to do with homelessness, drug addiction, and other things. Most of them aren't, finding a body that's been recovered. Now, there are incredibly dark spaces, so, like no lights, and you can access these bayous from downtown and other, nice and not so nice, unsavory areas. So, yeah, I mean, and, they don't have the camera coverage that you're going to see in most parts of town. So, possibly there might be some bodies dumped there, but from everything I'm hearing, and I'm not just talking about the statements from Chief Diaz and Mayor Whitmire, because the government's going to lie to you. Especially, I mean, if the government was actively looking for a serial killer, they'd probably want to play that very close to the chest. But everything we've seen, it looks like either suicides or just natural causes associated with people living outdoors and living around a disgusting, toxic, bacteria-ridden body of water. And I think it's much ado about nothing. Although we are, not the murder capital, but we're up there in the top 10. Houston does absolutely have a murder problem and an ability to solve murder problem in this city.
Houston, we do have a problem. And the problem with bodies being discovered in bayous here in the city of Houston, great numbers of them, is nothing new. I can remember just a couple of years ago, Texas EquiSearch was leading the search of Houston bayous with bodies being discovered in trunks of cars. I think maybe 7 or 8 bodies were discovered over a month period that were found in the trunks of cars in Houston bayous. It is obviously an issue to where those who do commit crimes in the shadows of the city believe that it's a safe dumping ground for bodies. I also do believe that it could be cases of mental health issues, drug overdoses, homeless people. But a lot of crimes that take place against homeless people are never reported, and some of them are rarely even truly investigated. We do have a problem, and you look at the history of bodies being discovered in the biosystems of Houston, you would think that by now something would have been put in place, like maybe some type of motion camera detection system to where we can patrol so much of the bayous with cameras based on the historical fact that bodies have been commonly found dumped there in the past. So, Charles, we do.
You know how big the bayou system is?
But
I
agree with Brother Isaiah Carey. Brothers and sisters on social media, some of us will do anything and say anything to get likes and clicks and don't give a damn the trauma we inflict on families and children and fathers and mothers just because we want attention. But that's the problem with social media. It's been the gift and the curse. When people die like that, let us be very careful jumping the gun and saying things that should not be said. But I have to give social media the credit. Many crimes that law enforcement have been too lazy or just did not care to solve were solved and exposed by those putting the facts out there via social media.
So just 5 minutes ago, without any understanding of what occurred in Charlotte, you were calling cops racist monsters, right? And now,
I said the cops that arrested a poor black child,
you are lecturing America on jumping to conclusions and criticizing people that say things for attention, right? I mean, that's your whole shtick, right? When I try
because
to
you want black people to pretend like we're blind.
Say, hey, facts are between you and Paul.
To
right?
say,
I mean,
what we see with our own eyes, we really don't see. You want us to pretend like we're deaf, dumb, and blind with actual cases of racial profiling involving our children.
Who's
men like you.
I'm just talking to Quanell X Farrakhan. Who is us? Are you a plural now? Are you a multiple?
When I say
you
us, I
non-binary?
mean black people. in the words of Jesus Christ.
I'm not talking about black people.
I am in
I'm talking
you,
about you
and
as
you
an
are in me.
individual, right?
Brothers and
So let's
sisters,
get back to the
we gotta
bias.
do
The
better than
truth
this.
is
We gotta
that
do better.
Isaiah was right. It's a bit hypocritical for you to agree with him, but Isaiah was right that we live in this world where a lot of people have monetized attention, right? I mean, that's what ratings are on TV. But the
And
shortcut
TV
to
started
that,
first.
the shortcut to that is to be willing to say whatever untrue thing you can say to get the clicks and the attention. And it does not look like we have a serial killer. Hopefully, if there is one, they're investigating. You talk about there's the cost of the camera system. I would probably for the entire bayous, but they most certainly could put more lights. They could put cameras in heavily foot trafficked areas along the bayou, especially downtown. They could do more, right? We could do more outreach instead of, like here we built a $55 million shelter a block away from you to house a handful of people. Instead, we could be building bigger warehouse style shelters to actually help all the homeless and youth. But we don't do that.
Bio system where they built for as a tourist attraction for people to canoe the system like you did with your
But
friend.
we didn't canoe it. We was in a real boat.
Man, let me tell you something.
I'm not getting out there in a kayak, flipping over and getting hepatitis.
If you
know what I'm
ever
saying?
visit the county jail, you can look down at the bottom of the county jail. They have these little canoe boats you can rent, and you can
Is that
like
you
troll the
saw those
bayou.
when you looked out your cell window?
Have
What?
you
What are we talking
seen?
about here?
Have you seen some of the cats that are down there? Have you seen some
No,
of the
I mean,
homeless people that are down there doing some crazy?